For most of the 18th century, the Caribbean Sea was a deadly place to sail. Its waters were terrorized by the fearsome Captain Remington. Rumors spread from port to port about Remington's pact with the devil. During his nefarious career, he plundered many ships and murdered even more men. Until the day armed forces finally caught up to him. Now, 300 years later, Remington's body is being extracted from the depths of his watery grave. Soon, this precious artifact will be on display in the Caribbean Naval Museum. My museum.
Sure thing, Miss Black. I'll leave the crate at the end of the exhibition hall.
Hi, Mom. I just want to sneak a quick peek at this legendary pirate, and then I'll stay out of your hair. Come on, let's check out the crate that just arrived.
There, you're all set. Now, if you don't mind, I'll be on my way.
The crate is nailed shut. Do you think we could pry the lid off? With so many tools lying around, I'm sure you can find a crowbar. I'll stay here and keep an eye on the crate. Oh, right. I still have the key card to your office. Here you go. And don't worry, this mummified corpse won't be going anywhere without me.
Unbelievable. The jewel casing claimed the gem as its... That's strange. The flashes of lightning are really playing a trick on my eyes.
Mom, you know I'm scared of the dark. Could you check the fuse box?
Yes, the power has been restored.
Mom, come here quickly! I can't believe my eyes. The showpiece just ran away. And he dropped something in the crate, in the wood shavings.
Was there someone behind me?
Mom!
You'll serve my purpose, maiden. Sail forth, my ship, to Skull Island.
can't see anything. Where am I? It's a genuine haunted ship. I have to find my daughter. She must be so scared.
Another woman on board? That's double the bad luck. But welcome anyway. This cursed ship belongs to Captain Remington, the most fearsome pirate there is. We're his crew. Well, what's left of it. Now that the captain's returned from the deep, we've set sail for the old hideout on Skull Island. Here's a map of the ship, for free. Don't want bad luck getting lost on the ship.
A map. Now I'll always know where I am.
So, you fancy me bottle of shiny fluid? I can't give everything away for free.
Mom! Help me!
Chemicals. Perhaps the skeleton pirate is holding the missing bottle.
So, you haven't been captured yet? I can tell it won't be long before Captain Remington takes care of you once and for all. You'll follow in the footsteps of your daughter. Just wait until we get to Skull Island, to our fortress. I bet Remington's plans have something to do with that other woman, the Countess, who appeared among us centuries ago. Now scram your bad luck charm. My wooden limb is itching, like there's something in it that I can't reach.
Mom! You have to help me! The pirate is heading for some forgotten Caribbean island! Beware!
If you're here, then my captain lives again. I hope Remington told you about the doubloons. You need all 12 to open the chest and retrieve its contents. I'll be watching you.
What are you doing here? Have you come to free us? Oh, you're just looking for your daughter. Remington rushed through here on his way to the fortress. If you see him, give him my decomposing regards. If not for Remington and his damned bride, we would be buried like proper dead, not hanging here for eternity.
So, it's you, the one who made Remington hightail it to his hideout. Good job, but you won't find him without getting inside the fortress, and it's a pretty solid one. Last time when the army's fleet attacked us, only the cannonballs were able to crush the walls. The massacre that happened afterward is Remington's fault. If he'd stayed true to the pirate way, we wouldn't have ended up like this. I have to warn you, though. He's still dangerous. Take this knife. It may come in handy.
You again? Why don't you leave old Smithy alone? Oh, you fancy his shiny fluid? Well, I accept bribes. I'm quite thirsty. Get me some grog, and I'll give you this rare bottle of chemicals.
Remington. He tore the painting which I haunt. He remembered me as a young girl. Now he's insane, planning to set infernal powers in motion once again. Help him. Find the map marking the way to the treasure and look for other portrait pieces.
Oh my god! The gondola's mechanism has broken. I should fix it if I want to return.
We called a truce among all pirate companies for the duration of Captain Remington's wedding. It was supposed to be a great ball for all the sea wolves in the Caribbean. We left our weapons on the ships as an act of good faith, so when Baron Bannister's soldiers showed up, we were defenseless. They butchered us without hesitation, men and women, innocent and guilty alike. But now, Captain Remington is back at last, and he will avenge us so that we may finally rest in peace.
The festivities were beginning when the soldiers rushed in, guns blazing, swords slashing at the crowd. It was a massacre. The grimmest wedding I ever attended. And the last one, too. But tonight, The captain has appeared with a new girl on his arm. Maybe he has found a way to recreate the wedding somehow.
My sword was useless when the slaughter began. In the blink of an eye, the wedding guests were dead or dying. Just before my own death, I saw the Countess crying as her treacherous father rescued her and chained up Captain Remington for execution before her eyes. But now, the Captain's voodoo gimmicks might prove useful, and we will see the Countess and him walk down the aisle once again.
I took this old symbol with me to the grave. Recovering it would help you understand what drives him. Maybe you can stop Remington in time. If only you could regenerate my hand.
She's missing! Someone has taken my daughter!
Remington's mad. I couldn't stop him as he took my remains from my grave. He's planning to bring me back, but we'll never recover the time we lost. The doors to the underground bay are sealed with a pattern. I wore this pattern all my life.
I have to admit, you don't give up easily. I'm this close to bringing my love back to life, and I don't have time to bother with you right now. You dare to say she wouldn't want to be resurrected? That's nonsense. It's the only way we can be together after all these years. If you think you're so smart, bring me proof that my beloved doesn't want to return. You would have to summon her ghost, you fool.
Now I'm whole again. Love is eternal, but people are so fragile. I need to talk with Henry before he makes a mistake. Take me to my captain. I do not wish to be resurrected, my love. It's time you joined me.
Stay, please. I was so blind and selfish. After all this time, she still only wants that I give up on this cruel and vengeful life. She wanted an ordinary man, not a legendary criminal. Rather than resurrecting her, I should join her in the afterlife. Perhaps she is waiting for me there. Do you have a coin for me? The people of the Caribbean first heard about Captain Remington and his black galleon when he sank 2 passenger ships near Ile Simona. Those who survived were taken aboard and later sold as slaves. Tales of Remington's cruel and ruthless manner spread. Those first attacks were only a taste of the coming atrocities. Soon, Captain Remington boarded and sank commercial ships. His black galleon would appear out of nowhere and strike without warning. Those who weren't shot or stabbed were forced to walk the plank to the pirates' amusement. People were frightened and began to suspect Remington must have made a bargain to come by such unearthly skills. His crew was said to consist of sea monsters, convicts, and cannibals. His ship was thought to be invincible and capable of casting storms, fog, and eerie calm. One of the vessels attacked by Remington's crew happened to be on its way to pick up the young Countess, Mary Bannister, and safely transport her to her father in San Juan. The pirates boarded the ship, killed the Marines, and then donned the dead men's uniforms. At the port of call, before anyone noticed, Remington kidnapped Countess Mary, expecting a grand ransom. During her days aboard Remington's black galleon, the captive Mary Bannister turned out to be fearless, peaceful, and resilient as she tried to shun the pirates' advances. Captain Remington was keeping her out of harm's way. On rare occasions, Mary was given permission to visit the deck. Once, to avoid her father's disgrace, she attempted suicide and jumped into the water. Remington jumped in after Mary and saved her from drowning, but the rescued girl soon became feverishly ill. The captain couldn't trust any of his vicious mates, so he personally nursed Mary back to health on Skull Island. During that time, Remington fell in love with the beautiful Countess at his mercy. Mary noticed Remington's feelings and started to care for the legendary pirate.
While Remington's and Mary's love was becoming mutual, Mary's father was preparing a coalition of military forces to rescue the girl. The grim Baron Bannister had only recently come into money and power and was still greedy for more. He was planning to kill 3 birds with 1 stone. Liberate his daughter, kill the fearsome pirate, and save the ransom. To win Mary's heart, Remington revealed the truth of his origin. Turns out, Remington was a poor nobleman who signed a pact with the infernal Davy Jones. For the price of his soul, Davy made Remington immortal. The all-powerful Remington joined forces with Caribbean pirates and acquired a formidable crew. And now, thanks to Mary, the captain promised to end his pirate career. The star-crossed lovers planned to marry at once, with all the sea's pirates in attendance to witness their vows to each other. On the eve of the wedding, a military coalition struck the fortress full of defenseless pirates. The Caribbean Sea turned red with blood, and Skull Island became a place of torment. Remington was sentenced to death before Mary's eyes. The young countess was broken-hearted. Baron Bannister was claimed victorious for killing Remington and his nefarious crew. The Baron capitalized on his success by forcing his daughter to marry the captain of the Royal Navy. Mary endured a childless and unhappy marriage with the old dull soldier. And when her spouse eventually died, Mary, now a wealthy widow, decided to return to Skull Island. Even though Skull Island was now a sad and dreary place, memories of happier times came back to Mary as she started wandering the familiar grounds. Mary used the money she inherited to build a crypt for her and her captain if his body was ever found. Soon after that, the lonely Mary died. According to her wishes, she was buried at the new crypt. Meanwhile, as the centuries passed, the immortal Captain Remington lay at the bottom of the sea, broken-hearted, stripped of his enchanted weapons, and weighted down by shackles and corals. The only person who could make him happy was dead. The only thing which could redeem him, a gift for the bride, was still in the cursed chest on his galleon. Remington grew weaker and weaker under the sea, waiting for a chance to set things right.
You were right. Thank you.
My dear, are you all right?
Mom, you saved me!
I always will. With my daughter safe at last, I could finally relax. I defeated, or rather saved, Captain Henry Remington and his beloved. However, we were still stranded on some forgotten Caribbean island, with only a skeletal crew awaiting us on the ghost ship. And then came the bottle.
Mom! I'm so relieved. I was sure you'd come to my rescue, but it's not over yet. We still have to escape from this island somehow and return to the museum. Those undead sailors look like they're waiting for us. But I'm not going to be the first on board. I've had enough paranormal events for a lifetime.
There she is, our beloved Madam Captain. Yes, you. We heard that our former Captain Remington ultimately resigned his position, and we've elected you for our new shipmaster. Aye, aye, Madam Captain. We can set sail as soon as you find me last good eye. That's better. Now, show me where you want us to go. Do you have a map or the coordinates? We can almost weigh anchor, but I need a compass to guide this old boat.
And so we set sail for the mysterious ship, hoping to find people willing to aid us. Instead, we were the cavalry, riding to someone else's rescue.
Here we are. That's the spot that was marked on the map. Feel free to board this sundered ship and plunder it to your heart's content, Madam Captain. After all these years, we're a bit out of practice, so we'll stay here and wait for you. If you find another map with coordinates, we can resume our voyage. And take this rope. Good rope always comes handy.
Those skeletons make me feel uneasy. They keep looking at me funny, but this halved ship may conceal even more dangers, so I'd better stay with them. Anyway, we're stuck here until you tell our scatterbrained sailors exactly where to go. And that scientific vessel should provide you with maps of the Caribbean. But, Mom, please be careful when you explore outside.
So, my call for help was found, finally. And to think it was you, the one who bested Captain Remington and broke Davy Jones' curse. Alas, I'm another hoodwinked sailor. I set out to scientifically prove the myths about Joan, but instead found Davy in person, and he turned out to be a terrifying and cruel creature. He sentenced me here to rot, punctured by swords, trapped between life and death. Please, will you find the remaining pearls and set me free? I can make it worth your while.
Damned seagull! I need to find it and get back my pearl.
I'm free at last! So long, Davy Jones! So long, damned curse! So long, mortal plane! Thank you. Take this map with coordinates. It will guide you home, so we both can finally rest.
We set off again, hoping for a safe trip without any surprises. The ship was firmly heading toward the place where everything started. And after a long journey...
Mom!
We did it. We finally made it home.